It's been years since Frenemies ended, and years of Trisha trying to mind her business and act like that phase of her life never happened, but this week we finally got a sign from her that Frenemies might one day return. We also have to talk about Connor Franta further addressing his drama with Daniel Prada, and Revolve responding to those signs from Stagecoach. It's a mess, so let's get into it. It's been years now since Trisha walked off Frenemies and never returned, and since then, a lot has happened for her. She had a pretty rough time after the podcast ended, a lot of people were very upset with her, and it took a little while for Trisha to find her footing again. She's now started her very own podcast called Just Trish, and it's probably been the best thing Trisha could have ever done for her career. It's been a complete hit, she found an amazing co-host in Oscar, and their views are pretty comparable to Frenemies' level of views. But despite the success of Just Trish, there are some people who are still, all these years later, holding out hope that Frenemies will one day return, even for just a reunion episode. Now, of course, the chances of that ever happening seem slim, especially since Trisha and Moses weren't even on speaking terms with Ethan and Ela. Ethan did say recently that he ran into them and they exchanged hellos, but besides that, there hasn't really been any clues of them making up.
We ran into them recently.
Oh,
Shut up.
I know, this is big T.
Oh.
We were doing a Halloween. It was some kind of Halloween pop-up event. Where it was fun. It was like a little Halloween carnival that we brought the kids to. And who do we run into but Trisha, Moses, and their lovely daughter, who I had not met before.
Oh, wow.
And I mean, it was... I don't know how they felt. I didn't think it was super awkward. I mean, we exchanged nice pleasantries and we moved on. There was no further kind of there was no beyond that. But we ran into him and it was interesting. It was very interesting.
Wow.
One thing people notice though is Ethan is always the one to mention Trisha or respond to comments about her, and he always wishes her well.
Trisha's about to give birth, I think, by the way.
Yeah.
Good luck.
Congrats.
I hope you have a good and safe and happy and quick pregnancy. Just meditate. It's all going to be okay.
And he's even said in the past that he misses her.
Things got complicated. Yeah, someone said I love that show, but it needed to end now. Yeah, so back to Trisha, who I miss. Someone said, do you miss her? Yeah, I do. I miss her. I just realized I do when I'm doing this. I just realized I do miss her.
And whenever Ethan brings up Trisha, it always gives Frenemies fans a slight hope of them maybe making up one day, but others have noticed how Trisha never mentions Ethan ever. One person commented, "Sad that he's always shouting out well wishes, but she's zip. I miss my bestie duo." Well, for the first time in years, Trisha has made her first acknowledgement towards Frenemies. The other day, she posted a TikTok of her and Moses dancing to Sabrina Carpenter, and in the comments, someone wrote, "Bring Frenemies back." And Trisha actually liked the comment. And people were freaking out thinking that this was some sort of indication of a possible Frenemies reunion one day, with one person writing, "Trish, what does this mean?" And another said, "Oh my god, I can't breathe, she liked." Eventually, this comment worked its way up to being one of the top comments under this video, until Trisha seemed to unlike it. When people started to go back to see the like, they noticed it was no longer liked, making people think that she might have pressed it on accident. I feel like maybe she liked it as a way to acknowledge how loved Frenemies was and that people are still asking for it all these years later. But when she saw people taking the like as a sign the show was coming back, maybe she thought, better unlike this before it starts something. A lot of people have been debating if bringing Frenemies back one day would even be a good idea. Trisha and Ethan have both seemed to move on, they have their own shows that do very well for them. Trisha has found what works for her with Just Trish. It's kind of like, is it better to leave it in the past, or would a Frenemies reunion be iconic and only boost their own shows further? I'm not really sure at this point, but let me know what you guys think. Moving on, we need to talk about Connor Franta. Last week, we talked about Daniel Prada calling Connor boring.
Okay, so I feel like in the beginning of our relationship, I was jealous of a certain YouTuber.
Name them.
Connor Franta. But then I realized that he's the most boring person I've
Okay,
ever
we don't
met.
need to be mean to Mr.
I'm not
Franta.
being mean, I'm being honest.
And then Connor responding to him in probably the best way ever.
My name has been in your mouth and on your mind for years. You're obsessed with me.
I don't know why. I don't think about you. The internet doesn't think about you. You are categorized as one thing, Joey Graceffa's ex-boyfriend. Leave me alone. If my crime is being boring, your crime is being nothing.
Everyone agreed that Connor had the best response, and Daniel responded to his response and was like, yeah, you actually got me there.
Oh, girl, you ate me up. I have to admit that you ate me all the way up.
Well, I thought this drama was over, but Connor decided to get on his channel and further address the drama. He posted a video titled Addressing the Drama, and although he never mentions Daniel by name, he talks about where he's at in his life and how he's happy with who he is and the life that he has.
I am incredibly fortunate and incredibly privileged to have the life that I have and to be able to look back on the last decade and think, I really wouldn't do anything differently. I feel as though I have kept my moral integrity. I feel as though I am a similar person to the person that I was when I started this journey, and I've never let it get to my head. So when I see negative comments or people disliking me, I think I'm so confident in who I am as a human being right now that I'm just kind of baffled by it. I'm like, damn, really? Really, me? Really? Out of everyone, me? Okay. All of this is to say, I've fallen off over the years. I do not get as many views as I used to. I do not have as much attention on me as I once did. And frankly, I'm grateful for that.
And I honestly feel like this is the perfect response to end this drama off with. A lot of people are saying that being called boring in this industry shouldn't even be considered an insult because a lot of people in the influencer space thrive on drama to stay relevant, and eventually that has to be mentally taxing. I feel like boring is just another word for peaceful at this point, and honestly, more influencers should probably try and lead a little bit more of a boring life. Finally, we have an update to the Stagecoach drama with Revolve. The other day, we talked about the Revolve after party at Stagecoach and how an influencer named Reagan left because there were signs separating influencers by follower count.
I am leaving the after party because of this sign. Over 1 million followers enter here. Under 1 million followers enter here. That's so weird to me. Like, what?
A lot of people said that this was a collab with Pizza Slime, and Pizza Slime makes fun of pop culture and influencers, so the sign was on brand. But since Revolve has a reputation of actually being the type of brand who would sort influencers by their follower count, people felt like the joke wasn't hitting. Well, Revolve finally responded to all the drama in a TikTok, which said, POV, you go viral, but it wasn't even your best sign. And they showed a bunch of signs that they had at the after party that followed a very similar theme. And a lot of people were also wondering if the signs led to the same spot at the Revolve after party, and they confirmed that they did, writing, and of course, all signs led to the same experience. And much like these signs, it looks like the responses under this video are also divided. We had some people saying that it was an obvious joke from the start, and this is yet another case of people being too sensitive, while others feel like Revolve missed the mark with their joke. One comment said, the rest of the signs are obvious jokes. Nothing about the enter here signs gives that energy. And I can understand the joke, but I think because of the reputation that Revolve has and how they have a history of treating bigger influencers better than the ones with less of a following, a lot of people like Reagan took the sign as being real. Anyway guys, let me know what you think about everything down below. Are you still hoping for a Frenemies return? What do you think about Connor Franta's response? And what do you think about Revolve's signs? Let me know, and I'll see you next time.